I'm going to get on with the business of opening every one of the 5 guild kits. I've got a heartwarming story in one of the other videos about how I bought all 5 for 80 bucks, and that's a really heartwarming and wallet busting story. So this is the Dimir one, and it's got a Trotter as the headliner. I've already built a commander deck for a Trotter in my channel if you want to go look at it. Got confused with some Simic cards, but I eventually got unconfused, and the build is actually true Dimir. Here's the little pin that it comes with. There you have it. Then this is one of my favorite ones. I like the Celestia one and the Boros one, but I like this one better. The Dimir one. There it is. A D20. Then a Trotter, and because I love to keep my cards in good shape, I'm going to sleeve it. So a Trotter is pretty cool. I've already built a commander deck to it, as I mentioned. You need to protect her. She doesn't protect herself. But if you play the game of hitting with her as a commander, you can win the game pretty quickly, 3-4 turns, once you get set up. Because it's got a clause where the player you're hitting it with loses the game if you own 3 or more cards exiled with hit counters on them, and you're putting the hit counters, it's unblockable, on those creatures when you hit your opponent. So you got to figure a way to smack your opponent to the face. You got to figure a way to not have a combat with this card, and then you do it 3 times and you win the game. So that's really good. The things that it comes with, as the same as the other guild kits, it's got a nice little sticker. Don't know why I got 2 out of the Boros one, but I don't mind. It's got a paper little deck box, and it's got this beautiful artwork, which I always, I love it when somebody goes to the lengths that Wizards does to make high quality additional materials in their products. And this is a really well done, well executed piece of work. The dude from Dragon's Maze, which is in this deck, and I think I may want to, I don't know, milling commander is not a good strategy, but one of these days, just like I like to build, I like to build bad decks every now and then, I wouldn't mind building a milling commander deck just for kicks. So here's the deck list. Each one of the deck lists for the guild kits tell you which block it came from, although some cards have been in multiple Ravnicas. They're kind of like frequent flyers. Okay, so now let's get on to the deck. I already told you a little bit about a Trotter. And this is the 3rd of the 5 guild kits that I'm opening all in a row. They're all going to be in the same playlist. I thought I was going to make them into 2 videos per guild kit, but as it played out, I was able to go a little fast enough and to fit them all into 1 for each video, one in each for like a roughly 15-minute video. And I'll mention as I go through which cards I would keep once I kind of muck with the deck to make it a little better, a little stronger. So this guy is a Life Linker 331. Also, one thing that I really like about the deck, all 3, is if it has a Guild of Ravnica symbol, it's in standard. If it doesn't, like for example this card, it's not in standard. It's a modern card, and I think the Golgari deck is the only one that has a card that is not legal in modern. So that's a legacy deck. Okay, so this guy is a keeper. You're gonna have to be in Surveil a lot, and you're not really in Surveil a lot in this particular deck, I don't think. So I would bring in some Surveil cards as I take things out. This Shapeshifter, I mean, you're playing, in this deck you're really playing your deck is my deck kind of cards, where I'm going to be copying your stuff and I'm going to be taking things from you. I'm turning them into my property. And this is one of those decks. So you're going to pop something out of a graveyard, and this this card becomes a copy of that. That's great, especially if you take out something strong. This guy is such a heavy hitter, such a heavy hitter. If you're a new player and you got 20 bucks to spare, this is the deck to get, man, or girl, or it. This card is fantastic. I played it so much when it was in standard, so much. When it deals combat damage to a player, that player exiles the top card of their library, and you may play cards exiled with this card. Fantastic. One of the best Your Deck is My Deck cards ever made, in my opinion. Circu, I'm not sure if I want to build a Circu commander deck. Let's think about it. So, yeah, you're exiling the top card of your opponent's library. That's pretty good. Or, you know, target player if you're playing multiple people. And your opponent can't cast spells with the same name as those cards that are exiled. It's going to be useless in Commander because they only have one of each. So that third clause is more of a Commander clause. Don't know. I don't know. Maybe not a Commander build. Maybe more like a constructed build. Now this guy is for a Commander build. And of course, the trick of Lazav, this one, or the lower cost one that just came out in Guilds of Ravnica, is that it does the shapeshifter thing. It becomes a copy of something in a graveyard. Okay. So whenever it lands in the graveyard, this guy becomes a copy of it, and it still remains as a legendary. Okay. This guy, I played him a lot when it was in standard. Definitely a keeper as well. It can get really big. You get into a situation where your opponent, for some reason, maybe it's late game, you've done a lot of counter spell, you're doing My Deck is Your Deck, you really weakened your opponent's strength, and they cannot take this dude out. Oh man, that's brutal, because the PT is equal to the number of cards in your opponent's graveyard. Now, if you're playing in Commander, oh man, that can be a lot of cards. This thing can get absurd. Okay, so and you're also milling. You're milling with it. So yeah, forget it. This guy is pretty good. I may build a deck with him. He's a flyer, 5/2/4, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you're milling. Don't know. I mean, I've been told time and again by people who know a lot more about Commander than I do that milling is a stupid idea in Commander. But I like to do stupid things every now and then. This guy is all of 7/5/5 flyer. And if it would deal combat damage to a player, instead put that many +1/+1 counters on this dude, and you mill. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe someday there will be a milling deck in Commander. I'm not sure. I don't think we're there yet. I mean, this deck has a mission briefing. That's fantastic. This is a battle cruiser version of Snapcaster Mage. It's a great card. You get to surveil on the top, and then after that you get to copy something. You get to cast something from your graveyard, an instant or a sorcery. And it's a money card in my opinion. Notice that in this deck, I have not yet said I'll take this out and make it better. That's how good I think the Dimir deck is, in my opinion. Okay, so Glimpse the Unthinkable is a reprint from Ravnica 1. It's yet another money card in this deck, and it's one hell of a mill. Top 10 cards. Yeah, just for that I would get another copy of this deck and have 2 glimpses and make it a constructed beater. A really strong constructed mill deck. Now, of course, if you have a lot more money than me, which I congratulate you on, I get 4 copies of this deck and get a playset of this dude, and then really have the milling deck in constructed. Now, this is kind of like we're going from great to lame. Sorry, this card sucks. Everything with Cypher sucks. So I'm just gonna say that outright. That's my opinion. Create a token. Yeah, it's all great. It's a 6-drop. Thank you. Bye-bye. See you later. So here we have the tokens for the... I like the copy token, and I would use it for something other than that card. And I mean, this... Yeah, this is what makes Dragon's Maze suck so bad as a box. Yeah, Cypher. Ouch. And then Dragon's Maze. I don't know. I don't know if this guy. I think this guy is in Gate Crash. I'm being. Yeah. Okay. I'll move on. So these are the tokens. There you go. And then let's go through the rest of the deck. And I think we will run into things that I personally would take out. I would definitely take this guy out. 1/03 defender. And when it enters the battlefield, you surveil 1. I would put in other better surveil cards to replace it. The same here. I think there are better ways to stall the game in Dimir, and I would not use this. Now these guys, forget it. I mean, I'd get another copy of the deck and turn it into a playset. This is, in my opinion, the best skill mage of Ravnica 2 and 3, all of them. Because you can draw cards, and you can cost this card. Okay, you can do the two things that are really, really good, that are worth that cost. Instead of putting plus counters or some other silly thing, I think this card is fantastic. And I would buy another copy of the deck, and then make it into a playset. Okay. This guy is a 4/4/4 flyer, and but you lose 1 life at the beginning of your turn, so it's got that clock. But I think it's pretty good. I would keep it. This entire cycle from Guilds of Ravnica is really, really good. This guy is fantastic. Flying and Death Touch on a 4/3/3. It's a hexproof. It's a little hard to cast, but I love it. I love the cycle. Definitely a keeper. Then a 6/4. Each opponent loses 1 life for each creature they control, and it's got transmute. Don't know. I put it in the maybe pile. The Horror. 6/4/4. Do an unsummon and cause your player to discard. I would not put it in. Then the 4 Aqueducts, great cards. The bounce lands, these are fantastic. They make, I mean, if the whole deck had crappy cards and it still had a playset of bounce lands and 2 signets, I would have probably bought it. I think they're that fun to have as a casual player. Guild Gates. Then these beautiful lands that are selling like hotcakes. They'll have the same artwork for a given color. There you have them. And one thing that I would recommend for new players is I would take 2 black, 2 blue, 2 islands, 2 swamp. Take them out and put in 4, like, I don't know, 4 plains and call them watery graves. That way you don't have to buy your shocklands if you're playing casual at home. And you can call them shocklands, and there you have it. You have a deck with 12 2-color lands. Signets, I mean, forget it. You're going to keep those. Nice counter spell. Yeah, I would keep it. I would take this out. The returning thingy. Yeah, manipulate the top of your deck. I would take it. Target creature gets -3, -3. I would take it out and put something that destructs. Target destruction. Like a murder or something. The charms are always keepers, in my opinion. So I'll keep it. Gets plus X plus minus X. No, I would take this out. All creatures get -1. This is a sideboard card. A lot of times it's not going to do you any good. I'll take it out. This guy's a keeper. It's a divination with a little bit of a more constraining mana cost, but it surveils 2. Yeah, for sure. This guy is also great. Destroy target creature. Cling. Yes. And it goes against legendaries. So that's fantastic. Create a 1/1 blue and black horror creature token with flying with Cypher. Cypher. You said it. Bye-bye. 5 ribbons. 4 damage target creature and you gain 4 life. And if blue was cast, it's a little too heavy. I would take it out. I'd put something else. Syncopate I would also take out. I just get a straight up counter target spell. This is one of the few double-sided cards that I think I like. Most of them, I love the artwork, like to collect them, never play them. Yeah, Surveil 2 and draw a card for 2. I would keep it. So that's a Dimir deck for you guys. Thank you.